While at the zoo, a lady asked me, "Excuse me, is that your little girl in there?" I looked through the glass and saw my 7-year-old daughter Julie walking toward a massive sleeping polar bear. "Julie, come back here!" I screamed, pounding on the glass. She turned around, squinting without her glasses. "What? I can't hear you, Daddy. Look at the pretty mama bear." Polar bears are the deadliest bears on Earth. They're the only bears that actively hunt humans. I sprinted to find a zoo ranger and grabbed the first one I saw by the shoulders. "My daughter snuck into the polar bear exhibit," I shouted. "How?" He looked shocked. "I don't know how. She figured out a way in. Just help me." "All right, come with me. We need to neutralize the bear and keep it asleep while we get her out." We ran back to the exhibit where Julie was now sitting 5 feet from the sleeping bear trying to pet it like a dog. The ranger got on his radio calling for backup and tranquilizer guns. He started making hand signals to Julie to be quiet and back away slowly. Julie squinted at us, confused. Without her glasses, she couldn't see our signals clearly. She waved at us and kept petting the air near the bear's massive paw. My whole body was shaking as I watched her inch closer to the predator. "Get ready to fire tranq darts," the ranger said into his radio. On my signal. Julie finally seemed to understand something was wrong. She stood up slowly and started backing away from the bear. That's when I heard the pop of the tranquilizer gun firing. The dart hit the bear in its shoulder, but instead of keeping it asleep, it woke it up. The bear's eyes snapped open and it lifted its enormous head. It looked directly at Julie, who was frozen in terror. The bear stood up on all fours. It was even bigger than I thought, maybe 8 feet tall and 1,000 pounds. It started walking toward Julie slowly at first, then picking up speed. Julie screamed and jumped into the small pool in the enclosure, thinking the water would protect her. "No!" the ranger yelled. "Polar bears are faster in water than on land." I looked around desperately and spotted a maintenance door that was slightly open. That must have been how Julie got in. Without thinking, I ran through the door and found myself in the enclosure. Julie saw me and scrambled out of the water just as the bear was about to dive in. She ran behind me sobbing and grabbed my legs. The polar bear turned its attention to us. We were now both trapped with the deadliest predator in the zoo. The bear roared, showing teeth the size of my fingers. Its breath smelled like rotting fish and death. I pushed Julie behind me and tried to make myself look bigger, but I knew it was useless. This bear could kill us both with one swipe. Suddenly, a lamb was thrown into the exhibit from above. It landed between us and the bear, bleeding loudly. The polar bear looked at the lamb, then back at us, trying to decide which meal it wanted. "I'm sorry, Daddy," Julie cried behind me. "I just wanted to pet it." Then everything turned red. Blood splattered across my face and into my eyes. I couldn't see anything and thought the bear had grabbed Julie. I wiped my eyes frantically, expecting to see my daughter being mauled, but Julie was still behind me, untouched. The polar bear was on the ground with a pool of blood spreading from its head. I looked up to see the ranger holding a rifle from the observation deck. "Had to use real bullets," he called down. Zoo staff rushed in and pulled us out of the enclosure. Julie was crying and apologizing over and over. "How did she even get in there?" the ranger asked. "She's always been too smart for her own good. Figured out how to pick locks when she was 5. The ranger shook his head. "No normal 7-year-old breaks into a polar bear exhibit to pet it." Julie looked up at him with tears still on her face. "I thought it was a big puppy." The ranger stared at her. "A puppy? Are you flocking stuff?"